This is the Meikee 30W LED floodlight. Okay, so having looked at the little brother quite recently, the 10W version, I've picked up the Meikee 30W LED motion sensor floodlight. This is the bigger brother. Well, there is a 20W and I think there's a 25W as well. There's a bunch of different flavors of this for you to decide on, but I just decided to have a gamble and go with this because I didn't exactly know how big this actually is, and the area I want to install it in, the 10W wouldn't have been bright enough or big enough to be able to cover the whole area, so I went with a 30W. That should be enough. It brags on the front that it's 60% energy saving replace 75W halogen bulbs, so I'm guessing from that poor English that this is 60% more likely to save you money than using a 75W halogen bulb, and it's only 30W, so that should be good. It's IP66 waterproof. It's PIR. It's got a PIR sensor on the front there, and it's energy saving. Around this side, it just tells you some of those things again. On the back, we have some interesting stuff going on. We've got the daylight white, 60 Hz, 50 Hz SKU. Life expectancy is 50,000 hours of online time. Brightness is 30,000 or 3,000 lumens, and it's waterproof IP66. Some other bits and pieces there, but it's A++, A+, and A rated LED brightness. Temperatures, it works between 40 and 25 degrees, and we'll just get into it and have a quick look. Okay, so I was initially very impressed by the 10W one because the build quality was good. We have some foam there to protect the glass in transit. A fairly short cable there with no plug on it. Obviously this is just to be wired in, and you can cut that short depending on where you happen to be putting it. We have after sales service card and a product manual to show you how things work, and around the device this is how it looks. So we have glass on the front, we have silver here to reflect the LED array that's in the middle there, the big yellow bit. We have the sensor down the bottom here that is adjustable in a few different ways. We have the mounting bracket on the side, which is quite stiff, with a bunch of holes on it for you to be able to attach it to the wall. And then the back, which is all metal. It's a good design. It's quite tough, and the water will dribble down here and drop off. Then at the back of the sensor we have time, sends, and lux. So I'm guessing that's the time that it stays on for, the sensitivity of it, and then lux is sort of dawny, dusky kind of time where it'll kick in earlier in the evening, depending on the time of year, I'm guessing. So you can adjust that so that it turns on all the time. So if we have it round at sun, it'll always turn on. If we move it round this way, it'll be a bit more, it's getting dark, so we'll start flooding the place with light earlier in the evening. We've got some voltage stuff on the side there, decent screws here as well. It still remains to be seen how this will look after a couple of years of being out in the elements, but from my thoughts right now, it feels like it's galvanized or that kind of affair, so it might last a good amount of time. So I'm going to go and mount this up on the apex of my garage just to see how bright it is and how good it is to be able to fill my grounds full of light. Also in the box we have two little screws, which are self-taping or toppering or whatever, where you stick it in and screw this on and it expands, so you can't pull it out quite so easily, but they're fairly quick to install. Just throw it in. I don't know if I'm going to actually use these. I might use my own screws because I don't know how well these will rust. They feel like they might be aluminium or a lighter form of metal, but I never use packaged screws. I have a collection of them, and they're usually just crap. Okay, let's have a go.
Okay, so you'll have to excuse the rather shaky recording here. It's dark. And the light comes on, as you would expect with a sensor. And it's quite a brilliant bright light. You can see that I've installed it up at the top of my 2-story garage. And it illuminates the place quite well. The light, whilst it's pointed down as to not aggravate my neighbours, illuminates the apple tree here and round onto the driveway. And it does look quite good. It gives you the right amount of illumination where we want. Swinging it back round again, you can see it lights up the wall quite well, and then back up to the top of the house. So I think this is a pretty successful light for a mere £30 or so. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments box down below. Hit that subscribe button and give us a wee thumbs up if you fancy. And other than that, take care.